record. It's recording now. Smart pants. Before I press record, everyone, Sharon was kicking off because I was going to sing.
I wasn't kicking off. I was just saying I'm not joining in with the singing for everyone's safety and comfort.
Right, everyone. Episode 23, that's why it's called 23. We're going to take a break for a while from doing these for a number of reasons, which we'll explain. One being that we're getting pulled away because we've got won a load of very fancy, sexy, innovative building optimization work from a technology point of view. So we're getting pulled for that. But with that, we're going to go away and on that journey, we're going to learn more stuff. We'll have loads more stories. That's due to end at the end of March this year. And then we'll start these back up again with some of our learnings. Now, what I was saying before we came on, or what I was saying to Sharon, was, are you going to sing for everyone this time? Because it's 23 episodes and you haven't sung yet. And then I was saying, let's do it. And then I went down the road, as you obviously would, for Greece. Was it Greece 1 or Greece 2 where they sing Let's Do It For Our Country? You know, he invites that girl around to his bunker and he's going, let's do it for our country, the red, white and the blue. Let's do it for our country, something needs it too.
I'm going to hazard a guess that it's Grease 2 because I don't think I've seen that, so I don't think I've heard that song.
Well, I don't think it was the first one. No, I think it was the first one.
Was
definitely
it?
think it was the first Grease, yeah, where he's trying to get into his girlfriend and he invites her round to his dad's air raid shelter. I think it was because Greece is set in the 50s, I think. Is it? I don't know. Someone will correct me on that. Obviously, not that long away or after World War II. You've got a bunker knocking about. Or his dad was a doomsday planner. And he invites her round. Obviously, he locks the door, and then outside are his two mates banging and clattering, and he's saying something about they're being invaded or a war has started. And the girl naively believes him, but not knowing that it's an absolute elaborate angle to do stuff. And then that's when he sings his song. He's basically saying Uncle Sam wants him to do it. So let's do it, hence do it for, I don't know how many times I've got to say do it. Do it for our country. The red, white and the blue obviously being the States. Or you could use that in the UK, I guess, couldn't you? It wouldn't work here, would it, with my accent? Let's do it for me country, me red, white and me blue. Let's do it for me country needs it too.
I saw the engineers earlier and I just love it because they all call me Love, and you just don't get that down south.
Funny. I'm glad you said that because we were having this conversation in the office the other day. And by the way, people, this isn't there's no agenda to this one. This is just a half an hour rambling. But I was we were about this in the office the other day because John, my business partner, and let me explain. It's all about the person who says it and how they say it and how that person is. So he calls people love. So like, where do you want this love? Or is it all right for you, love? Whereas, but he says it because he's got that northern tone and sort of non-threatening way. So he can get away with saying to someone, all right, love, where do you want this, love, yeah? You know what I mean? Putting around here, yeah? You know what I mean? Where's your husband? Can't he do it for you? You know, all that stuff. Whereas if someone went, all right, love, like, don't like that. It's all about the way you say it and the context that you say it in.
Yeah, it is in the tone. You can be very sarcastic with it as well. If you stick it on the end and be like, all right, love.
Yeah, exactly. But you don't do that down south. I mean, I've spent a lot of time down south and worked in London often. It's almost like when I go past Watford, go through the M25 on the train, get into London, it's like my northern filter disappears or my London filter comes down. So I won't say to someone, I'm here to meet so-and-so, love. Hello, I'm here to meet Brian. Can we have a conversation? Yes, I'll have a grande skinny latte, but please use oat milk. Because I can't have dairy, by the way, because if I eat dairy, I'm going to buff out. No one wants that in a meeting. What do you mean I'm special? You absolute... That's a hate crime. That is a hate crime against
Special milk. I'll get you in
people.
some special milk
There's
when you
no
cut
such
that
thing
down.
as special. And fair, do you know what? I'm going to say it now. Arla Foods, base is near me. So the big
Yeah,
factory, not too far away from me, Arla Foods.
yeah.
Don't know how they've done it, but I sent we all did in the business. Sent away a sample of our hair. So you get 10 hairs. You send them away in a little carrier bag. Obviously, you've done this as well, Sharon. They do the analysis. And what are you laughing at?
10 hairs in a carrier bag.
Oh, that's fine. Yeah, I don't think it's not like an Asda carrier bag. Yeah, sorry. It's the send you.
Imagine going, oh.
Yeah, they send you a proper medical, like, see-through plastic bag and with a label on it. Yeah, it's not like I've gone down to Asda and I've got a carrier bag, ripped out a load of my hair and stuck it in there, rolled it up in a ball and stuck it in the mail. No. So I sent the hair off, and I think you wait like 5 or 6 days or whatever it is, and then you get the report back. And then it tells you, which I'm getting the report up now, it tells you what aversions you've got. So, do you know what things that you can't eat, what you should have, what you should probably stay away from, things like that. So on mine, it does like a traffic light system, so red, amber, and green. And I was devastated when I first got mine because it goes through things such as, I'm just looking at it now, so food sensitivities. So I have a high reactivity, which means I need to be careful with this. Shouldn't really eat it, should really avoid it. Cheese, which is devastating. Dairy and egg. Drink some fruit, and these all break down individually. Gluten-free cereals and grains, meat, nuts and seeds, oils, and condiments. So if I go in, for example, cheese, it basically breaks it down to say you should not eat cheddar, cottage cheese, Edam, Gouda, mozzarella, Stilton, yada yada. And then you got dairy and egg, which is you can't have cream, you can't have butter, you can't have buttermilk, you can't have yogurt, you can't have milk from the sheep, milk from goats, can't have almond milk. Can't have orange juice. Can't have hot chocolate. Can't have a banana. I used to love bananas. I used to love a banana split. I used to get giddy on banana splits. I can't have tomato juice. And then there's a lot of other things as well, which is I can't eat orange. I can't eat duck. Not a big fan of duck. No milk chocolate. No tomato ketchup. No barbecue sauce. But bizarrely. The one thing that got me more than anything was when it says I had an aversion to bees.
Yeah, and bees are our spirit animal. That's just me.
Bees are our branding. I'm like, I can't go near the horse botfly. I don't know what that is. A horse botfly. Can't go near that.
Around their tail, isn't it?
Well, I don't want a botfly. That sounds horrible. Can't have horse chestnuts. And I had what I was really happy with is with my vitamin levels. So vitamin A, B1, B12, B3, all that, all in range. The only one I was out of range was vitamin C. So what I have done as a result of this, and I don't want to get into yours because yours just annoys me, Sharon, because you're like, I've got an aversion of whiskey and that's it.
And salt. Salt came up on mine.
You don't like, well, you are a bit salty, aren't you, though? Give me some salt. So yours is like fine, whereas
yeah,
I can't have anything decent in terms of dairy. So what I have done is I've cut out dairy. And my point of the Arla food rant before I came around in a mega circle was I don't know how Arla have done it, but I bought lactose-free milk, and I thought, and it's milk that's not in a fridge. So it was on the side on a supermarket shelf, and I thought, well, this is going to be horrendous, isn't it? I mean, I'm looking at Cravendale and normal supermarket milk going, but I love milk. I really enjoy milk. Now I'm drinking this stuff that's quite warm. I know I'm going to take it home, put it in the fridge, and it lasts forever. But there's probably a reason why it lasts forever, because it is probably crap. But once it's in the fridge and it's chilled, and it's in a cup of tea or a coffee, I cannot taste the difference. It is witchcraft. I don't know how they've done it.
That's pretty good, isn't it? There's quite a range now, isn't there? When I was buying your special butter and special
hang on.
fried kitchen in the office. There's quite a range.
I mean, you make it sound like I've got a disability. I'm not going to die if I eat dairy. It just means I've got an aversion to it, so I should avoid. Anyway, so I've cut dairy out. and I've been really good to it or with it, and I've added vitamin C into my diet. Now, before all this stuff happened with winning all this work, I was in quite a good physical and mental state. Now my physical health is starting to suffer and my mental health is non-existent. So now, now I need to find a different balance. But John's is the funniest for me. So when I got the report done, he was giving it big licks. He was like, "You're like a gremlin, aren't you? You know, you don't like dairy. You can't do this. Give him some dairy and be think car and all that lot." And I said, "You need to relax, you, because you're going to send yours off, and you don't know what yours is going to come back with anyway." His came back, and he can't have bread. Now you think that, or anything to do with bread, and you think, "Oh, that doesn't sound that bad," until you actually go to look at what the alternatives are. So you can't have pizza. You can't have burgers, can't have hot dogs, can't have a sandwich, unless he has gluten-free bread, and that is absolutely baba, and it's like £6 a loaf.
I haven't tried that before. Is it not? Is it horrible?
No, it's crap. I don't know. They haven't mastered that one. They have with the milk, but not so much with the bread. But his is miles more inconvenient, especially when you're out on the road like what we do.
Yeah.
So when you stop off at the if you stop off at the services, if you go to a welcome break in the UK, I think it's Waitrose, or if you go to a motor, I think it's M&S. I think it is.
Well, you've got things like Subway as well then. So you get Subway, Burger King and Waitrose,
McDonald's.
For instance. Or those
McDonald's.
are three standards, aren't they?
Or Greg's.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, so when I'm there in the morning smashing in my bacon butter, he can't do it because I mean we had because we're out for the next sort of 2 months in the office. I ordered a load of food in for everyone today, and when it came, it had a load of it was like a brunch.
Yeah.
So I think it was like a bacon, eggs, sausages, stuff like that. Came with toast and fried bread, and I should not have eaten that fried bread because my God, is that repeating on me at the moment. And then it came with a load of bread, and John couldn't eat it, but I'm there making my sausage and egg and bacon sandwich and smashing that in, and he's there like a weirdo with his bread all piled up at the side of him or in the bin, going, "I can't eat it."
Oh, that's a shame.
Huh? Yeah. So I was, but I looked into it further about the health stuff.
Yeah.
The mental health stuff and the physical health stuff, because obviously we've got this marathon to train for, which is concerning in regard to everything else that's going on at the moment. So that's going to be absolute agony in May. The 20 miler we've got in March is going to be, why do that to yourself? But why not? But I looked, and I think it was £650, and you can go and have your bloods done. But as well as having your bloods done, they check over all sorts of things. But then you can get your bloods done for specific scenarios. So I'm training for this, or I want to do that. I want to sleep better. I want to be able to run more distance. I want to do that. And then what they'll do is they'll analyze it, and then they'll put you on a program relevant to what your body needs and requires to help you fuel correctly to do it. And I was contemplating on doing it, but I just don't have the time.
Yeah, we've been head down lately, haven't we? Really.
Well, when I looked into it, I thought, ideally, I want to just walk into a clinic, put my wrist out and go, take what you want and then disappear. But I am. So what they do is they send you out the kit, and then you've got to arrange an appointment with your local GP and then go. And considering what's going on in the UK at the moment with the backlog of doctors, one, I didn't want to be that guy to go, right, there's someone here that's worried about a lump or something they've found. Oh, can you just do my blood? Because I'm trying to train for a marathon here. I didn't want to do that. And two, I didn't want to have to wait for 2 or 3 months to get it done anyway. Once, because you have to pay the £650 straight away, and then it's up to you then to get it all put through the doctors. So I went, I mean, it's a CX one, is that? It's not a very good process. So I went, I'm not going to do it. So I hadn't done it because I hadn't, and because we ain't got the time to do it anyway because of this stuff that we've got going on. Good stuff, but all this stuff anyway.
Yeah, so do we want to share a little bit about what we can share about what we're doing?
Yeah, I mean, we can. Yeah. It's building optimization, but it is a jewel in the crown, and it's also a massive validation tick for the digital FM strategy that we put in place 4 years ago, because considering the client and the size and the values, it shows you that this model works, because if this client can buy it and get behind it, anybody can. And this is very much traditional engineering mixed in with very state-of-the-art technology from a building optimization point of view. And it's and it's something that so it's all to do with asset refresh, so ripping out old equipment, putting new equipment in. And I know that the whole point of IoT is not rip and replace, but unfortunately when it comes to very old main panels and distribution boards, there's not that much optimization you can do with them. They are just old and end of life, and you've got to rip them out. So these are getting ripped out. But what sold it to the client was, well, hang on, yes, they do need to get ripped out, but let's put some technology in to begin with to monitor what's going on first. So let's really log. We all know the building's inefficient, but no one's. We're only assuming it's inefficient because of the age of the building. So we're looking at the building, going, this building was built in 1970, and none of the screens are digital. A lot of the screens on the plant are all analog. So we're just saying it's inefficient. Now, a skilled engineer would look at that and go, well, of course, that boiler there that's 30 years old is not going to be as efficient as a boiler made in 2022. Of course, that is going to be the case. But show me the actual data telling me that. So show me the data of how much energy that's consuming, how much it's costing, how many breakdowns it's had, how much maintenance has been put on it. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, I haven't got that. All right, fair enough. Let's put some technology in to get all that data. Let's watch it for 3 or 4 weeks. Once we've got all that data and we've got a nice happy baseline that everybody agrees to, then let's rip it all out and put a load of new equipment in. Now, they have to do that anyway, but it's such a great opportunity to be able to log scientifically the before and after, to go, here was your baseline. Now you've put all this efficient equipment in. One, you're going to have lower issues in terms of maintenance. Your building's going to perform a lot better. It's going to be able to heat and cool itself a lot better, etc., etc., etc. But here's now your baseline in terms of where your energy is, but also how that building is performing overall. I mean, that's such a great place to be. And because of the way that the model works in our company, we don't have the client doesn't have to go to multiple providers for that. It's just one person. Yeah, and that's all to do with how the company's structured from the accreditations. Like, you can't just go to a IoT business and go, can you rip out these distribution boards? They just can't do that. Whereas we can.
Yeah, we can very quickly help them see the return on investment on their project, which is important.
And where it gets even sexier is when you start putting technology in around the people side. So once you've got technology in from an energy point of view, all sorts of different sensors, temperature, etc., circuit level tracking, all that stuff. Once you then start to overlay sensors with how that building is used from actual human beings, and then you flex that accordingly with the controls to the BMS, yada yada, then it gets really exciting, because it's not just a case of going, well, I've got some PIRs on my floor when no one's there, it turns off. No, it's giving the data to the client of how actual people use that building. So where do they dwell? How much time are they spending there? I mean, I know social distance isn't the thing now, but it can even tell you that sort of level of that level of detail. What hot desk strategy have you got? Can someone just come to a floor and look on a screen and see what desks are available, so they can just come in and jump on it and have a trip over? All that stuff is all possible, and all that stuff is going to happen over the next 2 months. And at the end of it, when I'm 2 stone heavier, bald, had a mental breakdown, then we're going to be in such a strong position to be able to, hopefully, which is going to be a bit of a challenge, talking about it, giving the client, will be fantastic. But I don't know if that's going to technically be possible, but we don't know that. I mean, doing the work's one thing, but what we need to be able to do with the client is skillfully capture this without breaking any confidentialities.
Yeah.
But showing the world what's possible with this, so more people adopt it. And for us, I mean, these last well, since the start of 2022, has been like nothing I've ever experienced in the business. I mean, we're coming into our 4th year. Our birthday is we've had it. So our birthday was on a Sunday, on the on the 6th. Yeah.
Yeah.
So obviously with this going out now live on Wednesday, we've had his birthday, which means that we're 4.
Yeah.
And now those 4 years have gone absolutely nowhere. And we've had busy times. The first year was busy. We thought it was busy, but now it's. I've never experienced anything like this. This must be what it feels like to go through that hyper growth period. And I'll be very honest with people. It is painful. It hurts. It's very painful. All doable and all managed very well, thanks to people such as John and yourself, Sharon, from a customer point of view. But internally, it hurts because you've got to grow, but you got to make sure that you grow in a way that's sustainable, that one, you can meet the requirements of what you promised, but also at the end of that, you've still got a business to come back to and not everybody's left bloodied and deaded along the way.
Yeah, absolutely. Making sure everyone comes, like we spoke on the last one, making sure everyone comes along on the journey with you, and that other customers that you've also got alongside, another big client, are all kept happy as well, even if you're not doing anything for them right at that moment because your focus is elsewhere.
Yeah, and considering, I mean, we've spoke about this before, but just to reiterate the point, obviously with the metaverse coming on stream now, Web3 starting to get more traction. People talk about NFTs. You've probably seen this numerous places, NFTs. I mean, NFTs are one thing, but think about everything involved in the metaverse. That's not just NFTs, that's sensors, engineering, AI, VR, AR, data. All that stuff is part of the metaverse. It's not just NFTs or bombing around playing lightsaber. So as a result of that, we've sort of looked at the business and said, the journey that we're on and the journey that we're going on, and the work that we're winning now, we've sort of reflected and said, does the name that we've got represent the journey that we're going on? And I don't think it does, or did. So through various conversations and looking at this and how we're going to do it, so we're going to change our name. The key thing here is nothing changes in regards to the core business model. There's just another element that gets added on now. So in regards to the engineering, the CX, the IoT, but there's another element now that we need to think about. And the reason why this element is so important is because it is so crucial, with all the data that we're capturing currently with sensor technology, that we feed this data into this element to help populate and play our part in what is the next frontier, which is Web 3.0. So as a result of that, we're changing our name from MKL Innovation to Meta B, but Meta B spell Meta B3E. So when you read it, people will go, what's your name? Meta B3E? And no, Meta B. And the reason why we've chose that is because a number of reasons, really. One, bees have always been part of our branding since we started with MKL. Bees are a very great way to explain the journey of sensors and data and how that flows around a building. When you explain it in regards to how a bee operates, people get it rather than talking about or speaking ones and zeros. It just works. So we wanted to keep that element in the branding. Meta, obviously, because of the metaverse, where we're going, where everybody's going, whether you like it or not. That is ultimately where the internet is going over the next 5 to 10 years and beyond that. And the 3, because of Web3, because ultimately that's the next generation of the internet. But for us, there's a different side of it. So when you see the branding, when you see that my watch all the time just talks.
My phone never talks to me.
I mean, you'll see. You can't really see because I've got the new branding on my watch at the moment.
Can we put it up on the screen, Meta B? People can see how it's...
I haven't got it handy. at
No, I
the
just mean the
moment.
word. Just mean type the word. Am I?
No, I'd have to. Yeah, I'd have to. Oh, no, you're gonna make it awkward for me now. And plus, I can't do it for the listeners either. But just imagine a word it's all one word. It says meta, and at the end of it, there's a B, then a 3, then an E. That's how it looks. But it'll make sense when you see it. Anyway, but we're designing our B. We're upgrading the B. So the B that you can see on my hoodie for those that are watching this, or on my wrist, that's the M&E analog / digital B. But the B's going through an upgrade as well. And we'll explain this when we launch the branding, but you'll see it's very clever how the wings are done on the bee. So the wings of the bee are very much designed as a honeycomb, but it's an infinity loop. It's also a very skillfully pointed out from Sharon that there's the C and the X into it because we don't want to lose that value in regards to
Customer
our
experience.
branding. Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah, the customer experience side, because everybody will be hearing this all at the same time in the conversations that we're having at the moment regarding this project work that we're doing. The client that we've got is very big, but they are very traditional. I mean, optimization from the technology that we're putting on is very much cutting edge. But if I was to go to them and talk to them about the metaverse, it just blow their mind. It just wouldn't compute. So we need to make sure that CX element is still in there so we can take people on the journey and people don't feel left behind. But also people grab the opportunities that are available to them, because it is a little bit like the Wild West at the moment out there. But if you can put your stake in the ground and you can find those beacons of truth or pillars of strength of organizations out there that are credible, that are doing it, that are not constantly banging on about how they've made $400,000 from a Bored Ape NFT and all that stuff, which I like to think we're positioning ourselves as, we can prove and help people on that journey.
Yeah, I think where we come in is we really help them with that user case piece, because you can talk about metaverse and NFT and this, that, and the other for ages, but until someone goes, but what about, how does that work in my world?
Yeah.
And has that light bulb moment, they're just like, great, so what? It's that so what bit that we're helping with.
Well, yeah, exactly. Because if you said to someone, go watch Ready Player One, they'd go, okay, I've watched that. Wow, is that what it's going to be like?
Yeah.
Yes, but not yet.
Yeah.
So not over the next 5 years, maybe not even over the next 10 years is it going to be like that. But arguably, it's going to get like that. But what it looks like now is this. And for us, our part that we play, so this is really important, because when you look at companies such as Facebook, who have now Meta, they're building their part of the metaverse. They're building the world that you will live in. But that's not our journey. That's not what we're doing. What we're doing is we're owning the other side of the value chain, so to speak, of that. And our part to own in MetaB is the engineering and the data sensor side, to then feed that data into models for you then to wear your AR, VR headsets and do whatever you want to do with that data. That's where we sit. And for me to say I want to own the entire value chain of that, well, then you're starting to talk around quantum computers and things like that. And that's not for us, because one, I'm not skilled in that way. Two, I don't have the budget or the funding to be able to explore quantum computers. And three, I know that I need to, because once quantum computing starts to get its foothold a little bit more, you'll be able to rent time and space on quantum computers rather than me spending millions of dollars to be able to house a quantum computer in minus 150 degrees. I don't need to do that. So that's not where we sit. Where we sit is here in the value chain. And we point that data and sensors into various models, which one we can build ourselves. We can put AR headsets on our engineers. They can walk around the site and the assets will talk to them, vice versa. A site manager can be able to do that, and data will come out and present itself to them in lovely, engaging, beautiful ways, rather than it being an Excel spreadsheet. That is very, very advanced to where the traditional FM engineering market is at the moment. Hence why our original name of MKL Innovation didn't align to that. MKL Innovation sounds like a very early startup traditional FM business. I mean, most FM businesses, you see when you're a subby, if you start off on your own, they usually use their own name, or it's an abbreviation of a name or something like that. So I mean, John put this the best way. We need to take MKL from it being a company into a brand. And that's what we're now trying to do, is to create a brand around this. And there's various typography and images and icons that are getting built for us at the moment that we will use around the sites that we're working on. And my aim is that, especially with this client that we're working with, that is that once they see the technology out on site and they see our logo or our icon, they instantly feel comfortable and they instantly feel that they're in a great pair of hands, because the transition from them going from A to B has been so smooth, but has been taken care of in such a way that they feel valued. They feel that their business is very much forward thinking, and they also feel that the organization has got sustainability right in its core. And it's not just greenwashing bullshit. It's actually something that they're owning and they're doing in a really credible way, backed up with solid data, supported by MetaB. That's what I'm hoping.
Yeah. And we're nearly there, aren't we? We're nearly there on the rebrand. We've got all the uniforms supported coming out, and we've got the branding done. So we're really ready to launch. We've done a step change as a business, and now our branding reflects that step change as well.
Yeah, and plus we went and bought, for those who are in the know, we bought new work trousers called Snickers, and they make you have butts for days. So when you see me and John are walking around the site, don't be surprised if you see a couple of peaches in a wet hanky going, what's going on here? Why they've got butts for days? Why are they looking great, even though they look about 2 or 3 stone overweight? Oh!
Peaches in a wet hanky?
Yeah, have you ever heard that saying? Or like 2 eggs in a wet hanky?
No, I've never had the wet hanky bit. No, but I could.
Well, when you go
how
home,
that comes in.
have you got a white hanky at home? You have anyway, because you like 90, aren't you? You have doilies and all sorts of you and neck curtains. Have you got a doily at home? Have you got a wet? Have you got a hanky at home?
No, but I know what you mean. Like why am I doing this?
Yeah. So when you go home, wet a hanky, white one preferably. Get 2 eggs out of your fridge. Yeah. Put those eggs in a fridge and hold them up. That's what a bum looks like in Snickers.
But yeah, Snicks. Okay. Well,
little Snickers.
We've all got a vision. Everybody that's listening now.
Butts for days. Yeah. Right, I'm going, God, the guys are... You know those TikTok videos where you see the ladies taking pictures and videos of their men when they go out to on sites, and they're going, oh my God, look at him in his work trousers. That is not what me and John are going to look like.
Oh, you'll look at the B's and E's when you've got the new uniform.
Nah, I see what you said there. Yeah, I see what you did there. I see. Nice to bring it on. See, Sharon won't play about on these things, whereas off camera she'll play. See, the thing is, Sharon, is I wish you were yourself, because when the cameras are rolling, you should be able to be like, whoa, what we're talking about here? Yeah, it's great content, content. When that camera's on, zoom, too corporate.
No, I just keep you in check. Someone's got it.
Yeah. Well, and the other reason why, as I said, we're going to pause it now, these podcasts, just while we finish this, is because I'm not going to be able to be where I am at the moment in the studio. I'll be always on the road, out and about, and the quality will drop and it'll just be crap. So I don't want to do that. I'd rather wait until we can do it properly, and plus we'll have a lot of stories to tell at the end of this, and there'll be a lot of reflections back on... I think there's a lot of things we could learn from high pressure environments, and what to do when we spoke about this before, when those lions actually do turn around, when you pulled on their tails. What you look like that for? What are you doing? Why have you stopped talking?
Because you paused completely. I thought, I don't want to say, like, can you still hear me? Be gone, in case you were still going on fine. It's just my end that paused. I thought I'd just sit quietly.
No, I was pausing because I said something, and you're obviously, listeners, you can't hear this, but viewers, just go back to when I was on a rant about when they do turn around and look at Sharon's face, because you pulled a face like I said something really inappropriate. That's why I paused. So I was like, what?
No, he's gone, because my end, I just said spinny circles and everything. I didn't even have you there.
Right, that's your crappy Wi-Fi though, isn't it? Anyway, we're gonna have opportunities to talk about not just a theory about what to do when lions turn around when you've pulled on their tails, but actually what happens when they do turn around, because this is very much where we are at the moment. So this is a live fire in the trenches exercise.
Yeah.
Safety's off, bayonets are on, it's live rounds. So that's what's happening at the moment. So at the end of this, we'll be able to, I think we're going to have some really good lessons for ourselves. Mistakes will be made. Of course they will. And not from a client's point of view, but internally, because they just will be, and you want to make mistakes anyway. It's not necessarily a bad thing, make a mistake. It's good because you get to learn. But it'll be fascinating to see. Really interesting. Right? I mean, I don't know what to say to people.
No, I think that's where we are, isn't it? We're at exciting time, but we're going to take a little break. We've done 23 episodes every week for 23 weeks. So you can have a little break from us. There's plenty to rewatch, and we'll see you in a couple of months.
Well, I can't put it better myself. Let's end it there. Let's put some music on. Let's put a bit of Beetlejuice on to end this one, shall we? Yeah?
I'm not wearing my Beetlejuice skirt today. Maybe I should have done.
Let's do it. You have to do the You ready? Do it like you're getting a shooty bump in. I'll show you what I mean. Watch. You ready? Our listeners will understand that. And because it's the last one, I'm going to ask this question now. I know we ended it, but I've just got to ask this because I've had this conversation with Sharon before. She doesn't understand it or agree with it or know anything about it. But I think blokes will. Shooty bum pain. That is a thing.
What's it?
That is a thing.
I want to know.
Everybody knows that sensation when you sat there, you're working away, and you just go, ooh, and you get like a lightning rod in your bum.
No, I can't identify with that, I'm afraid.
And on that note, see you later, everyone. Speak to you in 2 months. Bye.